participe pas à l'entraînement aujourd'hui. Puis, on va avoir plus de détails pour vous demain matin.
Eric Engels.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for doing this. You talked a lot about the culture that Shea Weber has brought to your group. I know you have a special relationship with Carey Price. It seemed pretty clear in the images that we saw after Game 6. And I know you build the team to win no matter what, but what does it mean to be able to provide an opportunity like this for those two guys specifically?
Well, your question, Eric, those two gentlemen you mentioned, Pricer and Webby, it is special because they're the oldest of our players as far as the backbone of this team. So, and they've been through a lot, these two. Pricer as a goaltender in Montreal, as we know, it's demanding. There's a lot of expectation are high. And yeah, we do have special relationship. But when I say special, I care for the 23 or 28 players we have downstairs. So I'm not going to put anybody ahead of anybody else. But because I've been here the longest with Pricer and Galley, but also Webby, he came here as part of a trade where, PK was traded for Webby. And I know there's a lot of people that were guessing or second guessing this transaction. And again, to give something that's special, you have to give a good player. So not taking anything away from PK, but to get Shea Weber here in Montreal and what he brings on and off the ice, for me, it's special. And that we're 4 wins away for winning a championship will be ultra special. So, that's where this relationship is for these two gentlemen.
Katie Strang.
Mark, in your role with Chicago in 2010, what, if anything, did you know about the sexual assault allegations against Brett Aldrich?
Well, it came out recently. There was meeting that I've heard that was done in Chicago. I was not part of any meeting, and I was not part of any decision based on that. And I was not aware of what was going on at the time. So you could go on the record with that.
Luc Jalina.
Merci, Sam. Avant ma vraie question, juste pour préciser pour Armia, j'imagine qu'il ne pourra pas prendre l'avion avec vous autres?
C'est exact.
OK. La question maintenant, Marc, t'as amené Bob Gainey, parle aux joueurs. Ça a été très important, je pense. Est-ce que dans ta démarche pour la finale, tu as peut-être d'autres cartes, sans nécessairement nous dire quoi, là, mais as-tu d'autres petits trucs comme ça que tu veux faire d'ici le premier match?
Non.
Jean-François Chaumont.
Salut Marc. Dans une entrevue one-on-one au Journal de Montréal au mois de février, tu t'avais dit « Je veux laisser 2 héritages comme DG. Un, celui qui a acquis Shea Weber. On était à quelques jours du 1000e match de Shea Weber à ce moment-là. Puis 2, je voudrais être le DG qui ramène une Coupe Stanley à Montréal. » Là, tu es à 4 victoires de réaliser ton 2e héritage. Comment tu te sens à l'idée d'être aussi près d'atteindre l'objectif ultime?
C'est une opportunité spéciale d'avoir une chance de participer à la finale de la Coupe Stanley pour ramener ce fameux trophée ici à Montréal. Des émotions différentes, un peu nerveux, un peu excité, mais surtout fier d'avoir l'opportunité de gagner une Coupe Stanley ici à Montréal. Ça serait le rêve ultime pour moi. Puis, je pourrais prendre ma retraite après.
John Worrow.
Yes, hi, Mark. John Morrow with the AP. Just wondering, what for somebody who was born in Montreal and knows how much this all means, how special is this moment, knowing it's not completed yet, but to be part of this run and the chance to bring the Stanley Cup back to Montreal for the first time in 28 years and to Canada for the first time in 28 years?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's surreal, everything that happened throughout the season from, first day of camp to getting hit by COVID, to being down 3-1 against the Leafs, and to move on and where we are today. It's very special, but again, you know, we got to stay focused. And I know the leadership group that we have, we don't want to get caught in the moment. We want to enjoy the moment, but also there's a lot of work ahead to be done against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
John Lou.
Good morning, Mark. Luke Richardson was saying that the Dom Ducharme is responsible for instilling the culture that the club feels like it belongs there, that you believe in yourselves, that you're not going to take no for an answer. And that's why that you don't consider yourselves underdog. So I'm wondering, what role do you play in reinforcing that message and that culture within the team?
Well, we have good coaches with, you know, obviously with Dom, and now Luke took over while Dom is recovering from the COVID situation. But again, the biggest for me message comes from within the dressing room, and the like of Webby and Eric Stahl and Corey Perry, and, you know, recently Joel Edmondson and Jake Allen raised a Stanley Cup, and Gally that's been here, you know, since I was here from day one. So I let them, and they've done a really good job, because to where we are today, we beat some very good hockey team. Toronto is won our division. Very good hockey team. The Winnipeg Jet, same thing. They beat the Oilers in 4, which is also a good hockey team. And then Vegas, which pretty much was right tied with Colorado for the best record in the NHL. So we're not here by accident, but we realize that we do have a lot of work ahead of us. And the guys downstairs, they're very humble, they're very calm, and they respect the process, but they're enjoying it at the same time.
Simon Olivier Lorange.
Bonjour Marc. On se retrouve dans la situation, je ne sais pas si on peut dire particulière, que les deux équipes qui s'affrontent ont un directeur général qui est un Québécois francophone, mais c'est quand même deux équipes qui ont été construites de manière différente. Comme DG, toi, comment tu vois le travail justement de Brisebois et avant lui Yzerman pour construire le Lightning? Comment tu vois comment ils ont construit ça pour en arriver jusque-là, peut-être de ce qui est différent de la route que vous avez empruntée?
Oui, écoute, c'est deux équipes bâties complètement de façon différente. Je ne veux pas rentrer dans les détails, comment les Lightning ont fait ce qu'ils ont fait pour rendre ce qu'ils sont rendus, mais écoute, c'est une excellente équipe de hockey. Puis Stevie Yzerman a mis la fondation qui est vraiment bonne. Puis Julien a mis la touche finale l'an dernier, mais pour être capable d'arriver aux grands honneurs, si on se souvient bien, les Lightning avaient perdu 4 de suite contre Columbus. Ils avaient perdu en finale contre Chicago. Alors, ils ont eu des temps difficiles, mais ils ont passé au travail. Puis, chapeau à eux. Puis, c'est pour ça, aujourd'hui, on sait qu'on a un adversaire qui est coriace puis qui sait comment gagner. Mais de dire qu'on n'est pas les underdogs, je pense que c'est un peu... pour moi, c'est pas correct. On est les underdogs et c'est correct. Écoute, on a vécu avec ça toute l'année, durant toutes les séries. Puis on est prêt à rencontrer le défi demain soir à Tampa Bay.
Martin Maguire.
Bonjour Marc. Qu'est-ce qui fait, d'après toi, que ton groupe de joueurs est resté si résilient, si calme quand il y a eu des situations où le bateau là, s'abrassait puis vous étiez dans le pétrin, même contre Toronto et tout ça? Quelle est la qualité de ton équipe qui fait qu'ils ont passé à travers et que vous êtes là aujourd'hui?
Le caractère. Écoute, c'est certain que tu as besoin de talent, de skill pour te rendre, mais aussi juste avec le talent, tu ne gagneras pas une Coupe Stanley ou tu ne te rendras pas en finale. Il y a beaucoup de caractère. Puis ça, c'est crédit au groupe de leaders. Puis les joueurs, je le sens, puis je le vois. Je vais utiliser une expression anglophone, they care about each other. They care about le gars à côté de lui. Puis c'est une raison pourquoi qu'on était capable. Mais aussi, il y a de la chance. Tu sais, Martin, on va se le dire, là, les deux parties en overtime contre Toronto. Tu sais, il y a un peu de chance là-dedans. Tu crées ta chance aussi, je crois à ça, mais aussi pour te rendre où on est rendu aujourd'hui, on a eu un mélange de tout, de caractère, un peu de chance. Tu sais, souvent, on a pas nous, là, mais je sais qu'il y a eu beaucoup de critiques envers les arbitres dans la Ligue nationale, mais aussi, ça fait partie du processus. Tu vas avoir des calls qui vont aller contre toi, puis il faut que tu passes au travers de ça. Puis jusqu'à date, on était capable de passer au travers puis ça peut arriver à l'autre équipe aussi. Tu sais, souvent, c'est des erreurs humaines. Alors, c'est un mix de tout pour te rendre où ce qu'on est aujourd'hui.
On va prendre 2 autres pour Marc. We'll take 2 more for Mark. Stu Cowan.
Mark, after the game the other night, we saw you hugging Carey Price and looked like you whispered something in his ear. I don't know if you can share with us what you said to him. And also, can you just describe your emotions after everything this team went through this season? And you also, people questioning the team, people maybe questioning some of your moves. What, in that moment after the game, just can you describe what you were feeling and what your emotions were?
Yeah, I mean, I get a little emotional. I guess I wear it on my sleeve. And I care for these guys. I really do. I feel like, I mean, they're not my kids, but we put this team together. I mean, I think there's only 2 guys left, Pricer and Galley, since I've took over. So it's a team that we have put together, and it's rewarding to be where we are today. As far as what was said by the way, Stu, I hugged every one of them. And I try not to forget anyone because I know how much they're important. Either you play 7 minutes or you play 27 minutes, you're part of this team. So I make sure I hug every one of them. But also I'll leave it between Pricer and I what was said, but I'm very happy for him that we are where we are today.
We'll take the last question from Steve Simmons.
Mark, Carey Price's numbers the last few years, regular season-wise, have not been Carey Price-like, but in the playoffs, his numbers have been exceptional. What happens to him, even in Olympics and World Cups, what happens to him when the big game hits that he does that he's not doing, for example, during a regular season?
Well, I guess the expression we could use is he's a big game player. He rises to the occasion. He does extremely well under pressure. And the big moment, that's like you mentioned, the Olympics, he was outstanding. I was part of the management group at the World Cup. He was outstanding. And when the game's on the line, I think they had a poll at some point in the past that if you need a big game to win, who do you want to be your goaltender? It's Carey Price. So I think what you see now, it's how he's been. And there's other players in our team that I've seen, and they're pretty young, that they rise to the occasion when the games are big. So this is the big stage. We're facing a very good hockey team, and I'm confident that our guys will rise to the occasion.
Merci beaucoup, Marc.